And welcome to another episode of That's My Sports. I'm the host of the most, Aaron Cass. Hollywood Ray is finally out of Hollywood today. He decided to show up on this episode of That's My Sports. But before we ask Hollywood Ray how he's doing, do not forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube. Also on the bottom here is the ticker for our YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, Twitter, however you call it. So, Hollywood Ray, how are we doing today?
Man, I'm good. It's been a while. It's been too long. You know, I kind of feel like Randy Orton to CM Punk. We'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, no, it's good to be back. Obviously you and Shay held it down. Shout out to Chris, aka CPNY Sports, for coming on the show last week and being our special guest. So we thank you for that. As we say all the time, if you want to come on the show, we'll gladly welcome you on. But you know, once again, you gotta be available, and like I said, the times gotta work. But you know, we want to make things happen. So like I said, shout out to them for making it happen. And yeah, ready to go. Should be a good one.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a lot of things going on that happened this week, but the most important thing I wanted to talk about, because it's been a recurring story around, not sure what's true or what's not, is we all know that Zach Wilson in New York is a cougar hunter. You know, it goes down. And there was a man in the NHL that was definitely cut from the team, definitely swirling on allegations. I want him to come to the New York Rangers, but that is a right winger. Corey Perry was let go by the Chicago Blackhawks earlier. I think it was like last week. Everything's kind of resurfacing though this week. So apparently there was a mom's trip or mom's day in Chicago, and it looks like Corey Perry did a little cougar hunting and went after number 1 overall pick Connor Bedard's mom, allegedly. Gonna put that in some quotes. We're not quite sure. So I want to come to the Rangers, but again, there's only one cougar hunter in New York. I don't know if there could be 2 of them, but hopefully Corey Perry signs with the Rangers. That we need the wing depth. But I mean, what is your reaction to this story? Because no one knows what the truth really is, but allegedly that is what's going down.
So you see my January. So I heard about the name Corey Perry. I didn't know that this is what it was leading to. I thought he just got cut because maybe he had some locker room issues with it. I didn't know it was. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, at least it's not. Cause I didn't. That's not where I thought she was going. Because when you brought it up, I'm like, okay. I'm like, are we going serious already and talking about what happened with Josh Giddey? But I'm like, okay, this is a lot better to talk about than that.
This is a lot better. I am not touching that story. That's
yeah. Especially since all the facts come out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, even though Malika Andrews, yo dumbass, should be talking about it since you want to get on black men, but I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Because this is much more entertaining to talk about. Damn, and that's a real thing. Because who just came up here for the Bruins? They did that. The Islanders. The Islanders came up here with their mom's trip, and they came up here. So that is a real thing in the NHL. They do that. They have their family day trips. But Perry, Connor Perry, you gotta know, bro. Like, once again, you could talk to whoever you want to talk to, but you're gonna come at the number 1 pick's mom, bro. Come on. Like you gotta use your brain. Like, this is not a time to be out here talking about Stacey's mom has got it going.
For real.
He's all out. And like you can't have that moment. Like that can't happen. And if it is gonna happen, you need to be a lot more discreet than what you were. So I mean, hey, listen, there's no crime there, so I'm all for him being on another team at some point. You know, whoever chooses to sign him. But that's wild. But once again, the Blackhawks did the right thing. Once again, team morale, team, camaraderie. You can't have that be in the locker room there. So they made the right call by letting him go.
Well, what team didn't let anyone go is Chef Russ. Chef Russ and the Broncos over here who transitioned to the NFL. Yeah, they're 5-5. Or, no, 6-5, right? No, 5-5. 5-5 is
no. It's 5 now, yeah.
Is it? Yeah, because extra game is just messing me up. So they were 1-5 at one point. You know, lost. You know, they gave up 70 to the Miami Dolphins early in the season. They cut Randy Gregory. They cut Frank Clark. Jerry Jeudy was going to get traded at one point. He did, and he stayed. Right. Now all of a sudden they're on this winning streak. I mean, is it time to take Denver seriously, or is this just a nice little magical run, but they're still not going to make the playoffs?
Well, I mean, I'm more and more because I think because my team is going through it this season, like I'm being reminded, and many other fans that root for my same team are being reminded. It is hard to get a win in the NFL week by week, right? The goal is to go 1-0 every week. We know that. Some teams have luck of getting that and getting to 9, 10, sometimes 11 wins, and some teams don't, right? Um, we can't say, oh, because it's been a soft schedule. You and I go back and forth about that, like, oh, it's a cupcake schedule, this and that. It's like, look, you play who's in front of you, and they've beaten the Chiefs in this stretch. They've beaten the Bills in the stretch. So regardless of what their record says, that's still a formidable opponent. And yeah, I think it speaks to Russell Wilson really having having a turnaround season. But actually, say it's his birthday, actually. So maybe he just wanted to have a winning streak going into his birthday, and he's delivered on that. But yeah, Denver has been they've been balling, man. Once again, they've been coming through in the clutch. Some games have come down to the wire, and they've hit field goals to win those games. But yeah, they've won in every fashion. They've won with defense. They've won with offense. Even some special teams plays in there. So yeah, they're doing what they're supposed to do at this time, and they're changing the narrative about them on the fly. So those that thought that Sean Payton was done, those that thought that Russell Wilson is done, for the moment they're eating their words.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. I figured, with the Frank Clark cut, the Randy Gregory cut, that they were just going to just start trading off, getting draft picks because of what they lost for the Russell Wilson deal.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a little interesting because I have Patrick Mahomes in fantasy, and at one stretch in time, and maybe it's still true, is that Russell Wilson had better stats than Pat Mahomes. And everyone's considering him as, the MVP of this year, maybe. I mean, obviously there's Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, all of them, and Lamar Jackson. But I was just stunned that Russell Wilson pretty much has almost identical, if not better, than Pat Mahomes.
But I'm like, but the thing is, he's 2 years removed from having 40 touchdowns and like 11 picks. I mean, I might be off by a little bit, but it's around that number. He's not a scrub. Once again, when you play under Nathaniel Hackett, clearly you're going to look bad, and that's what Sean Payton was saying. Now he looked a lot better saying what he said because it was looking real scary, in the first 5 or 6 weeks. But that's what's happening. Remember we said a few weeks ago. At that time, I mean, it's changed now because they've won a couple more games. But at the time, he had 18 touchdowns, 4 picks. You tell me what quarterback is a scrub that got 18 touchdowns and 4 picks at that point in time. You can't say that. So now it's gotten even better, and they've had a couple more comeback wins. Like they're hitting on all cylinders right now. And once again, they're a team that you don't want to face. Once again, they are a missed call away from being 7-4.
This is true.
So people that watching the game, they got screwed. So they're a missed call from being 7-4. So, and we're talking about them differently. What's up, man? How you doing, man? Yes, sir. What's good?
And CPNY Sports says, "What's up, fellas? Yes, me and CPNY Sports will also be on 10:30 and Feeling Blue with our man Hit Squad and Rodney from that production as well. So check that out. But let's see. I was looking for Denver's offense, and they're kind of like in the bottom offensively because they're only averaging about. Where did I just see it?
Probably about 19, 20 a game, right?
Yeah, they're averaging at least 300 yards a game, but that's still better than like New England, Pittsburgh, the Bengals, and teams like that. But I mean, if you're winning, you're winning.
Yeah, and that's all. That's all that matters. Once again, the goals are going 1-0 every week. I mean, shoot. Speaking about offenses, right? Pittsburgh fires Matt Canada. Now, granted, they didn't have a great showing on Sunday. They still won 16-10 against Cincinnati, but yeah, they're standing at 7-4. I think their point differential is still in the negative, if I'm not mistaken, but they are finding ways to win. So, speak to Mike Tomlin's job this year so far, and has he become the best coach in the NFL to you?
As of like right now,
yeah.
I mean, listen, they stay at the 53-game streak of not having 400-plus yards. I don't know what Mike Tomlin does. Is it the Black Air Force Ones? Is it culture? I don't know, but I think when you're in Pittsburgh, you're automatically tagged with "We will never fire you." This is what it seems like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he'll be there until he doesn't want to be there anymore.
Right.
And the only slack I give him is that the Super Bowl that he does have, I still consider it Bill Cowher's team just because of who was on that team, the roster, because it really wasn't Mike Tomlin's. The 2010 team that lost Aaron Rodgers, that was a Mike Tomlin team. But the 2008 was more Bill Cowher just because of the players that were there. But I mean, he's never had a losing season.
Right.
I mean, any team would kill to have him. And I'm glad you talked about Mike Tomlin because there's a segment that we brought back last week with CPNY Sports, Clean Your Desk.
Yep.
So Adam Schefter reported there could be 7 to 10 possible openings in the NFL when the season's end. One already happened in Frank Reich, which I think was an unfair deal because
1
in 10. Dave Tepper pretty much gave away his draft picks. Nobody's going to want to go there because there's just no future. And he's 30 and 63, if I believe, as an owner so far. So who do you have for Clean Desk going forward?
Well, I mean, it starts with Bill. Bill has to be next. Not next, meaning to see like I feel like Black Monday, he'll be gone. It could be your guy too up in New York, man. David could be out of there too.
I would.
Who's gonna replace him though? Who's gonna replace him?
Eric Bieniemy. That's why he went there. Eric Bieniemy.
I don't think that I feel like if Washington had a better record, we would have for sure seen him in a head coaching position next year. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get it. Once again, now we've given him high praise on the show. I don't know if other teams are going to say, you know what? I hope that they look at him and say the work that he put in with Sam Howell, and Sam Howell is leading the fucking league in passing yards. Hopefully that's enough for them to say, okay, he can help develop my next quarterback. I don't know. Once again, I want to be proven, wrong on that, but I just feel like because it's been dysfunction this season, I'm not sure that he still gets that job. But yeah, you're right.
Washington. I said it last week on the show. Washington, they always tank, but they always try to make the playoffs at the same time. I don't know how they do it. They always seem to do that in some sort of way. But I mean, listen, Jack Del Rio, defensive coordinator, they let him go. It's a matter of time for Ron Rivera. And why would you bring in Eric Bieniemy if you don't want him to be your head coach? I mean, personally, again, I'll keep saying it until it happens. Eric Bieniemy should go down to the ATL and try to get Justin Fields in there for that culture. As Shea has said it millions of times, he has a statue in Kennesaw, Georgia. Bring him down for the culture. Bring him down. Huh?
Yeah. Matt Eberflus, his job is not super secure.
Exactly. I never said he was, but I mean,
either way.
And I think I saw a stat that the Bears actually play better without Justin Fields than with him. I think they're 5-17 with Justin Fields, and then with either Tyson Bagnet or however you say it, and they're like 9-8 or something like that, or 8-9. It's crazy.
I mean, that's remember when we were talking about John Morant and the record with John Morant was better. It's not now, but it's like for a while it was. That's what's happening there. They're not better, but without Justin Fields, that's a fluke. Numbers can do what we want to do at times, but I don't look at them and say, if you take number one off that field, then they're not that good of a team, or they're a much better team. I don't agree with that sentiment, but I guess that number once again tells some story. It don't tell all the story, but it tells a story for sure. But yeah, but no, Rivera, Bill, maybe let's do it in LA. Oh my God.
Brandon Staley. I said him last week. Yeah, but I actually said last week that Brandon Staley will get cut. Bill Belichick will swoop in and become the Chargers head coach, just because I feel like that's what they would do to have some sort of relevancy in this league.
Well, I would love that for them. I think that would be perfect for them.
Do you think Sean McVay, he won't clean his desk, But do you think he'll mutually part ways just because he's had pretty much two bad seasons so far with the Rams, and he'll actually get more money as like a sports commentator?
I don't think he would go up to the booth though. I feel like he would go elsewhere to still coach. Like I feel like he still has that desire to coach. I just think because they literally went all in to get the Super Bowl, and that's fine because it worked. But Les Snead put them in a position to not be successful in the next few years because they went all in with the draft pick. So, and then guys get it. Guys don't stay healthy. Some guys get old very fast. So it's a combination of a few things that happen why they're not really working. In the West Coast. And then once again, you didn't think that Seattle was going to be what they were. You knew about San Francisco, but you didn't expect Seattle to still be a mainstay in that division, let alone the NFC at that. So yeah, there's a lot of variance that go into why he should leave, I think, at the end of the season, but I don't think it'd be to the booth. Like I feel like we take him here in New England. You know what I'm saying? Like, we do that. Or maybe he goes back to Washington. Who knows, right? Because he was there for a little while. Maybe
Who wasn't there in Washington at that point? I feel like everybody was there.
Yeah, no, facts. Yeah, facts. Yeah, him, LaFleur, like everybody was on that team at some point. So it just speaks to how inept Washington is a franchise too, right? To have all of those guys there and what 80% of them became head coaches from that tree. So
pretty much,
it just goes to show how much they didn't know and how much Dan Snyder at the time was just very lost when it came to building a team. So they deserve whatever they get.
Now I would do clean your desk. So let me ask you this, because Frank Reich joins the league company. He's the sixth head coach ever that did not finish his first season with the team. 1976, Lou Holtz. 1978, Pete McCulley. The infamous 2007 Bobby Petrino, who actually just got picked up to go back to Arkansas, but just as an offensive coordinator, not the head coach anymore. And then obviously 2021, Urban Meyer. 2022, Nathaniel Hackett, and then Frank Reich. So now that the Panthers are open, who do you want to be the Panthers head coach? Obviously, it's not a good situation. You can tell your kids back in the day that Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore are on the same team. Right. Who should take over and help Bryce Young, who can't even see his offensive lineman?
Bill O'Brien.
Really? Yep. You're going to say that very confidently after what he's done in Houston.
So, I mean, three division titles.
This is true.
They were more relevant than they had ever been under his reign. So, obviously, he did what he did at Penn State or whatever. But yeah, he was Bryce Young's coordinator, and that's the best Bryce Young looked was under Bill O'Brien. So why not? Why not? You need an older coach that could come down there and stabilize things, because bringing in another young guy, I feel like it wouldn't work well in my opinion, especially when you don't know the ins and outs of that organization and what the new owner is willing to do from a winning standpoint. So I feel like getting Bill down there now. I do know, Bert Breer works for NFL.com, whatever.
Yep.
He came on the show. What show? He came on one of the radio shows earlier this year, and he talked about how O'Brien came up there basically because he had a son that needs. I forget what type of treatment it is, but essentially, Massachusetts, which is true in general, like they're very good for hospitals up here. Like some other things we may not be so great at, but hospital wise, education wise, like we're at the top of the food chain in that regard. So that may be the only reason why he doesn't maybe leave here in Foxborough again, because he wants to keep that treatment nearby. But yeah, it's either him, maybe even Jerome Mayo. Jerome Mayo was someone that was a finalist for their position last year, and they gave it to Frank Reich. But yeah, I'm all for I'm all for one of them two going. I don't know who else would look to jump to go over there. I know you and I talked off the air about Ben Johnson or Bobby Slowick, but those are two candidates that I want looked at in New England. But obviously, there's going to be other coaches and other staff that would get pulled. So We'll see how it unfolds, but those are two names that come to mind that can head down to Carolina.
I think Mike Kafka, Giants offensive coordinator. I feel like
Yep.
either he goes down to Carolina or he cleans his desk. I said it earlier this week on the live reaction from the Pats game with CPNY Sports, Feeling Blue, that Ken Dorsey's somehow coming over to the Giants. I think Mike Kafka's on his way out just because the play calling has been atrocious. So saying that, week 12 happened. Crazy stuff. Lions again losing Thanksgiving, which is not surprising because I just feel like they never win on Thanksgiving. A lot of things went down. Eagles with the comeback over Josh Allen's Buffalo Bills. So do you have any week 12 takeaways before we go into the picks? And do you see a collision course for a Super Bowl rematch?
So it's looking like it, between Eagles and Chiefs. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like Baltimore, Philly as well. I just talked about that on the other platform I'm on. Baltimore, Philly would be pretty dope too. I'm going, or even Baltimore, San Francisco, right? It's been 10 years since that, or 11 years now since that Super Bowl had taken place. I think it's the year of redemption, and Lamar is due. San Francisco is due. But once again, I just because I think they do doesn't mean it's going to happen. But there should be no one that should be shocked if Kansas City and Philadelphia have a rematch. No one should be shocked.
I don't think Kansas City will make it again. So I just feel like they're coming off the rails a little bit. They really don't have a number one receiver. The Swifties are taking over in Kansas City. Travis Kelce is not having a good, I believe, 4-game stretch as their number one receiver. I mean, I don't know, man. Pat Mahomes is not looking like Pat Mahomes this year. He's having his moments, but I feel like the Swifties are just taking over in KC.
So
cool. We've seen it with Dallas. Jessica Simpson had that effect. Tony Romo. At one point, yes, that's how old we are. Jessica Simpson was in fact dating Tony Romo.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Because I remember most is Carrie Underwood. That's what I remember the most.
Yes, Carrie Underwood as well.
Yeah, wow, Jessica Simpson. Oh my god. You know me, I gotta use my musical references. I can let my hand down. I can say anything crazy. Yeah, she was saying anything crazy. Tony Romo had him going crazy. So that's wild. Yeah, I mean, listen, Kelsey's about to be 34 next year, man. It's time. And you know what's crazy? Bill would have traded him by now.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Bill would have said, it's better to get you a year early than a year too late. And I think, the lack of development for Sky Moore. I like Pacheco. Shout out to my boy Chris Higgins. Like he mentioned that Pacheco was going to be a problem, and he has been. McKinnon sometimes been up and down. They've kind of had to go defense the last few years because they wanted to make sure that they had a defense that can uphold on days that they couldn't score tons of points. But yeah, I mean, it happens with every team, and this is why I was trying to tell people, and I got looked at like I was crazy. I'm like, yo, it is hard to do in New England what Pittsburgh did, what Dallas did, and it's hard. It's hard. Well, you could get there all day. You could get to the dance, but you got to win. And once again, winning twice is way better than what most people have done. So it's like, be happy with that. It is hard to get 4, like Montana, Brady, Montana, and Bradshaw. It's hard. It's hard to get 2, like Peyton, Eli, Ben. It's hard. It's hard to get there. A lot of guys got 1, but once you get to 2 or more, you're looked at it in a different light. So Mahomes has already looked there, and I don't know. Like their lack of talent is showing, but once again, I had no sympathy because my best receiver at times was Rashae Caldwell. So I feel no sympathy at all.
It seems like Andy Reid's favorite target now is Rashee Rice, rookie.
Yeah.
It seems like he's doing very well. And again, I'll say it too. People were complaining of last year when the Giants made the playoffs and our number one receiver is Richie James. and we had off injured Kadarius Toney, and they're on Kansas City, and they haven't done anything. Kadarius Toney's always hurt. Shocker.
Right.
Richie James, I don't know if he's still hurt, but I don't think they're throwing to him a lot.
Right.
And people are saying that Patrick Mahomes doesn't have any weapons, so you can,
that's
Daniel. But when it comes to Pat, it's completely different.
That's weak. Once again, I have no sympathy for it. I've seen a guy for 20 years, with the exception of maybe 2 or 3 years, having the worst, not worst weapons ever, but having subpar weapons and still find a way to be, 12-4, 14-2, 13-3. I seen it. So once again, he was throwing the guys, Rashae Caldwell, Chad Jackson, Austin Collie, Kenbro Tompkins, Aaron Dobson. Come on, man. Come on.
Deion Branch.
God damn it. Deion Branch was good.
That's right. I forgot he's Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, Deion Branch was good. Stop. But Deion Branch was good. But it's just like
Edelnut. Edelnut.
You said what?
Edelnut.
Yeah. Make sure Martell about 102, 103. Love that. That's so good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like outside of that, it's just like, and even once again, you lucked into Edelman. You lucked into him. You lucked into Amendola, who was hurt in what was he at before? St. Louis at the time. You lucked into him. He's
on Dallas's practice squad too.
Yeah, you looked into him being really good. Wes Welker, you know what I'm saying? Like, you lucked into some of these guys being
Chris Hogan.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't have sympathy for that because they act like it's the worst thing ever. He has to no. If y'all on his jock, actually, let me get a little more space. Y'all on his dick, thinking he is the best ever. Then he has to prove it with these guys here too. Sorry, get over it.
Well, before we get into the picks real quick, I saw a segment. To make it real quick. I'm thinking a rant's gonna happen. So obviously the Patriots lost by Giants. They definitely choked and wanted to get that second overall pick so far. So on ESPN, I believe it was Rex Ryan or I don't know if it's Daniel Laska. I think it was Rex Ryan. They're pretty much saying that the Patriot way does not work anymore with these kids. They're pretty much they're just giving up. They're not doing what happened in the past of New England. Do you think the Patriots way is just 2000s? And now with these kids coming in, they just don't like that kind of tenacity or pressure or just the hard work. They just want to win.
So Devin McCourty or Jason McCourty, one or two, I think alluded to it. I couldn't, probably was Devin because Devin been here forever. But a lot of their success happened earlier in the week. And what I mean by that, it was about the practices, right? Being on with full pads, running different plays, trick plays, whatever it may be during early in the week. In the current NFL, you can't practice like that, right? So certain situations that you would practice, now you're not doing that, before Sunday. So now situationally, you're not as aware as you once were. That's what I think the real problem or elephant in the room is. And then, a part of it is that, Bill has not learned how to adapt. And because he has to learn to adapt to the younger player to an extent, it's cost him. I think about with Jack Jones. I think about, what's happened with Kayshon Boutte this year.
I think Demario Douglas is out as well with the concussion.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, to me, he hasn't done. And once again, if you come from an old school place where you're used to getting yelled at, or you come from a tough environment, that's why him and Judon have clicked. Judon came from Baltimore, came from Fort Valley, whatever. Like he's used to that environment, so he was like, it's whatever. So some players can still really thrive under that. Country born, when healthy, has thrived other than that. Even Mac Jones's rookie year thrived under it, but then obviously things have gone south, unfortunately. So they're not wrong with saying that. I get it. They're saying things for shock value now. I think that's supposed to be some type of wonder statement that they're making. No, it's facts. And which is why it's time for a new regime. And it's wild to think about. See, the last 4 weeks, they've allowed a little over 13 points a game. They're 0-4. 0-4. Think about that. 13 a game, which that's elite. That's elite defensively, especially in today's NFL. 13 points a game, and you lost all 4. Okay, what did I text you? And you was laughing. But I was like, what did I text you? I said, get it to 10, and y'all got the game. And he was like, get out of here. I was like, so did I? I said, get to 10, and you're gonna win.
It's funny because it's the first time ever in a Bill Belichick era that they've lost back-to-back games by the other team scoring 10 points.
Yep, crazy. Once again, there was a time when even last year, if a team was scoring 10, they was winning. No one was gonna win that game last year. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me is and I get it. We was a lot more healthy last year to an extent. Obviously a lot worse play calling, but the offense, ironically, has looked worse under this iteration of play calling. But yeah, even a couple years ago, like they I'm like, I can't believe this same core won 7 games in a row a few years ago. Can't believe that. It's the same core, some couple different players here and there, but that same core won 7 games in a row in 2021. It was the number 1 seed in the AFC for 2 weeks. Unbelievable. Went to Buffalo, won there. I'm like, oh, okay, we're back. Nope. Not at all. It went from we're on our way, we're climbing. And then, shout out to our guy Max Kellerman. That's when the real cliff happened. We got to the peak. It was like, all right, that's enough. It hasn't even been a decline. It was a straight nosedive to what's going on right now. So when it rains, it pours. And once again, it sucks to hear all these national pundits speak about the Patriots in this light, but guys like Rex Ryan and any other coaches that are now on the sideline or on TV, they've been waiting for this moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, according to Alex Smith, which I've said it a million times, is that pretty much the Patriots were guaranteed 6 wins for 20 years. And now all of a sudden these teams are starting to get better in the AFC East, and it's getting a little more challenging.
Sure, but even think about this year, right? If they had a decent team, they might have been in first place still. Buffalo hasn't done anything. They're 6-6. New York, Jets are still the Jets. And then the Dolphins they're 8-3 right now, but I'm like, they haven't beat anybody substantial. So
yes, they can't beat the over 500 teams.
That's right. So think about that. So if you would just put a decent product offensively with that defense, you're probably 6-6 like the Bills and still in the hunt. But because you chose just to only put money into the defense and put money into special teams, right? And get a special team ace for $3.5 million, the offense looks inept. And then now you have to lean on Trent Brown. You got to lean on City So. You got to lean on Cole Strange. You got to lean on Connor McDermott. It's a joke. It's a joke. And that's just where they've gotten. But to address the Alex Smith point, and it's funny because I'm a fan. I was a fan of Alex Smith. I enjoyed his game.
Well, now he's not because he.
No. But I'm like, the reason why I have an issue with him or anybody else that has that stance. I want everyone to pull up the record against the NFC teams. Pull it up. So you can both things can be true. Yes, you can say the division wasn't as strong because you had the best quarterback. Fine. You want to say that? Cool. Whatever. When they came into NFC, whether the NFC teams came to Gillette or they came to the NFC teams on the road, they dominated. There's only a few teams like it's y'all, the Broncos, and I'm trying to think of maybe another team. But those are the 2 teams that come to mind that they struggled with in the last 23 years. Like I'm talking about when they were on top. So it's like, okay.
I mean, you could say Miami at home. You could say Miami at home. For some reason, they
right. Yeah, right.
Miami at home.
Miami on the road. Miami on the road. Yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean. Yeah, Miami.
Yeah. So it's just like that. On my foot. Yeah. So it's like that. That to me, that's it. So it's like that to me. And matter of fact, Alex Smith, he knows. It's like they came into San Fran a few times during the Brady era and lit their ass up. So it's just like, I get it. If you're mad about that, cool. But once again, now we brought back, let's clean your desk. Let's bring back another thing we used to have on here that we need to bring back as a staple. Let's not say things we don't mean. Let's not, because once again, when they were coming to the NFC, they were smacking everybody. The Patriots were equal opportunists for a long time. Everybody got that work. Everybody. So don't make it seem like it was just the AFC East. That's the only thing I got an issue with. You can say that, and it's fine because it's not wrong. But everybody got beat. Everybody in the regular season got beat.
Well, speaking of beat, let's get into those Week 13 picks.
Yes, sir.
Starting with Thursday night, we got the Seattle Seahawks going down to Dallas. What do you got in that one?
So I want to believe in Seattle. I do. I think that they have a pretty decent team, and they're much better than I expected. I really like Kenneth Walker, their running back, and obviously the combo of DK and Lockett. But if I'm once again the analyst in me, Dallas is playing the best football they've played all season. I just talked about I'm missing the point. I said Dak seems to have turned a corner, and at some point, Dallas had to start winning because of him. Now they are, and yes, we could say, oh, they haven't played anyone great. We could say that about a few teams, but they've won by a wide margin. It wasn't the 24-21. They're beating them by 20, 30 points. So they're getting their job done. So I'm a roll with Dallas.
Yeah, you're not getting me twice in the same year.
Oh my God!
Seattle Hags. By the way, it's a very popular TikTok right now that I picked Dallas Cowboys in that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Giants. So
moving on. You should pick them again then, so we could go.
Oh God, no, absolutely not. I felt sick the next day after I did that. So moving on to the 1 o'clock games, we got Go Bolts Go against your New England Patriots coming off the bye week. Who's starting quarterback? I do not know, but who you got in that one?
So what I want is for LA to win, right? What I believe,
you want your Caleb Williams.
Right. What I believe will happen. This is the one game the rest of the year New England wins that they shouldn't win, right? And I said this to my homeboys in my Patriots group chat that I'm in. I said New England's gonna win another game, or maybe even two, and they shouldn't win, and this is gonna be one of them. Oh, what makes you think that? Look at what we've done against Herbert since he's been in the league. This is the one quarterback Bill has owned. It's kind of like how young Peyton Manning was. Like people forget Peyton Manning was owned by New England until he figured it out in 2006. Well, it wasn't really him, it was Marlon Jackson, but that's a whole other story for another day. But yeah, I think he's in that category. So they're gonna put together a game plan just to shut down Herbert, and they're probably gonna fuck around and win this game. Unfortunately,
I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm picking Patriots as well, just because I want them to move up in the draft. So another 1 o'clock game. We have the Super Bowl 43 rematch, as we talked about earlier with Mike Tomlin. Cardinals Steelers. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald's not there. James Harrison's not there. Kyler Murray's there. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Steel City. Let's.
Like James Conner might have a revenge game. If he's healthy, I don't know if he's playing or not.
He's always playing. He's healthy. I have him on fantasy.
Oh, okay, yeah. It won't be enough.
Yeah,
it won't be enough.
What could be enough is maybe a future Patriot head coach. We have the Tennessee Titans and Mike Vrabel against Shane Steichen and his Indianapolis Colts. And remember, Jonathan Taylor's out, but there is Zach Moss.
So he's always been a good backup. I'm rocking with Indianapolis on this one though. I just think they're a better team, top to bottom. I enjoy Pittman. I don't love they cut Shaq Leonard, but I get it. Injuries are always the worst. And but yeah, I'm going with the Colts on this one for sure.
Interesting. I'm kind of conflicted right now because I'm not sure who to pick, but I'll go Mike Vrabel's Titans. It's not really a good season for them, but then again, their GM isn't that great either. I think we could do a better job. Next one is, we just talked about it. Chef Russ is cooking. Will he be sprinkling some more sazon in his dishes against the Houston Texans, or is CJ Stroud going to outduel him?
So Houston's now becoming the hunted to an extent, and obviously they're a young team. And D'Amico Ryans is in the running for Coach of the Year. CJ Stroud, regardless of what goes down, is the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Period. Like there is no other individual to pick, in my opinion. So he's just really running against him. at this moment. I say that to say I think it's 6 in a row for Denver. They're a veteran team. They understand what they need to do at this moment. A lot of those players have been there, especially Russ has been in those moments where it is a matchup. But CJ Stroud's going to ball, but I think Russ and them come out victorious in the end.
I'm actually going to go with DeMeco Ryans Texans on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just going to keep scoring. And DeMeco Ryans is coach of the year. Don't let it fool you. I don't know who's supposed to be in the running, but he is definitely coach of the year.
I mean maybe Pete Carroll. Maybe Pete Carroll could get it.
No. It's DeMeco Ryans, sir, for the culture. Come on.
No,
he took that Texas team that was absolutely abysmal.
Okay, so what should be and what can be, that's different. So he should be coach of the year. That's so I agree with you. But what could happen and what may happen? Yeah, I can see if Seattle went 10-7, I can totally see them giving it to Pete Carroll. Totally. Because no one thought that once again in back-to-back years they would make the playoffs. That was the case. He would be in strong consideration for sure.
But DeMeco Ryans has more wins than Lovie Smith and Dan Culley combined.
Once again, with logic, you're right. I'm with you. We agree. I'm just saying. I
know how it works. Yeah, the politics.
We know how it goes. It would be that. So. Mm-hmm.
Well, next one, who will definitely not be coach of the year, and Dennis Allen. He's going up against the Detroit Lions. What do you got in that one? Is that a 1, 2, 3?
It's not, because it's Detroit still. But Detroit's gonna win. But it's not a 1, 2, 3. Detroit's the better team, obviously. But yeah, I'm rocking with Detroit. They should get that one.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Mike Tom's out for the year. Chris Olave, he's kind of doing his thing, but I mean, they pretty much just upgraded a better Gingy and Andy Dalton to Derek Carr. They didn't really, do anything. So that's another waste of a season for the Saints. Mm-hmm. Another one. This one should be interesting. The ATL Falcons against the New York Jets. Apparently, Aaron Rodgers is practicing. He's got that 21-day window. Obviously, it's just a stunt.
That's false hope.
Yeah, that's a stunt. But Tim Boyle, from Xavier High School, going up against Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, that's awful. That's all. That's going to be a terrible game. That should be a 1, 2, 3.
I'm going Falcons, yes. So it should be 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Atlanta should be just blow them out the building. Oh, that's. Oh, I'm sorry. That's in New York, though, right? It is
at MetLife, yes.
Yeah, it's at MetLife. So, either way, Bijan Robinson should have a fucking field day.
He should. He could, but we'll see.
Yeah. So,
last 1 o'clock game, the Miami Dolphins against the Washington Commanders with Ron Rivera as the defensive coordinator / head coach. And shame on the NFL for firing the cameraman who had his dream, and because Tyreek Hill took his cell phone because he knew him and did his stunt, and they fired him because of that. Shame on the NFL. Shame on him on that.
Well, I didn't know that. I remember the celebration, but I know they did. Wow. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Well, maybe the NBA can hire him. Who knows?
Great. He's a good photographer.
I mean, I'm saying the Dolphins are literally, I'm trying to think, Dolphins are about 30, not Dolphins, the Heat. The Heat are about 30 minutes south of Hard Rock Stadium. So why not? Why not? The Kasai Center, whatever it's called now. They've had a million names since I left Miami, but I'm like, wow.
For real.
Yeah, it's always going to be the American Airlines Arena.
Yes.
But yeah, no, Miami. Once again, this is a subpar team, so we all know how they perform against subpar teams. So that they will come out and dominate.
Yep, I'm calling 3 picks for Sam Howell in this one, but still somehow throw 300 yards.
Okay.
Going to the 4 o'clock games. This one, we feel upset alerts. Now, every time we have these teams, they win the first game. So, Carolina Panthers with the new head coach is their special teams coach, because I know Deuce Staley was fired as well as Josh McCown. So, it's their special teams coach as the new head coach going up against the Buccaneers. Do we have an upset? Is this the first, or is this the first team that will lose, go 1-11 with a new head coach?
For just to change the draft position, I'm hoping that Carolina wins. They should be motivated to get to 5 wins because they're literally picking for Chicago. So they should be motivated to get 4 to 5 wins to push Chicago out the top 10, or have one pick in the top 10, one in the next 10. So yeah, for that alone, there's always a new energy like we talked about. So yeah, I'm gonna go over Carolina again the second one of the season.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. LL Cool J.
But
Yeah, why not Panthers upset? I feel like it could happen. Bryce Young had a players only meeting and pretty much discussed that Frank Reich, it was not just his fault. It's been everybody's fault this year, which is quite accurate. So yeah, I think the Panthers will get that one.
right.
Possible NFC Championship rematch again from last year, probably for this year. 49ers against the Eagles. What do you got in that one?
San Fran.
Wow, they are
Yeah.
at Philly though. So does that change your perspective?
Just like last year, and it's redemption time. And I'm big on McCaffrey. I'm big on Ayuk. I'm big on Debo. Big on Kittle. And I get it. I know it's AJ Brown. I know it's Swift. I know it's AJ Brown. I get it. They have a very, very, very formidable offense and just team overall. But I San Francisco had this circled all year, and with the addition of Chase Young, being back with his college teammate Bosa, you got Fred Warner back there healthy. Javarius Warriors played well recently. It's time. It's time. It's time to remind them that there's more than one team in this NFC, and we're gonna see come Sunday. I think San Francisco comes out to win. I'm gonna go 30-24.
Yeah, I like your pick. You're kind of swaying me over to the Niners. AJ Brown's having a little bit of difficulty with Jalen Hurts. We saw, I think it was 2 weeks ago, where he was just very frustrated. He wasn't getting any targets.
Really, all season he'd been mad. I feel like
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to go with the team that's on my chest. Fly, Eagles, fly. I still think they're gonna win. It's gonna be a close one, like you said. But I'm gonna go 28-27. So it's gonna be some weird score like that.
Well, quick aside. Speaking of the Eagles, one of their all-time greats retired today officially. Deshaun Jackson. So retired after a 15-year career. So maybe he's there Sunday to. I don't know they do the ring the bell there. I think it's only at the Sixers games, but
I think it's just Sixers.
Maybe they have him come. Maybe he's an honorary captain for Sunday's game. That would be pretty dope.
God, I hate that guy. Last four, and if you know, you know.
No,
all right,
my God.
you know.
Let it go.
I do let it go. It's everyone else that wants to put it up everywhere, where it's on Instagram, on YouTube, TikTok. They love playing that. They love playing that clip, and I still hate Matt Dodge. If I see him in real life, I will spit on him. Not kidding.
Wow.
Yes. Terrible. You don't punt to a guy who's literally quick as hell from California.
Yeah, the best
right at him.
No, well, the two things that I always remember from that play is the Coughlin slamming the clipboard on the ground, and then that might have been, because I mean he's done a few sports in his career, but that might have been Joe Buck's best call, like, because it was just like. Cause he was almost shocked himself. It was like,
yes, everybody was shocked.
Like, Jackson, he's gonna score. He's like, now in. I was like, you felt the excitement through his voice, and I mean between that call and what he did for David Ortiz a few years later in Game 2 against Detroit, like those are some of his better calls. He was like, and the pure excitement was like, whoa, did this really happen? So. Yeah, man, miss those days. That's when the games mattered.
For real.
And when it was real. So,
last 4:00 game is the Brownies with Joe Flacco. I'm assuming he's gonna be the starter unless PJ Walker. I don't know why PJ Walker hasn't been starting, but against the LA Rams.
If Cleveland wants to be in contention still, they need to win this game. So I'm rocking with Cleveland on this one.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Matt Stafford this year. He's been kind of decent, but not like when he got traded there. But for somehow, some way, I'm gonna go with the Cleveland Browns. I think Cooper Kupp is hurt again. I think it was with his ankle. So that's even though Puka Nuka's gonna have a good game, I don't think that's enough.
Right. Well,
now to the 8:20 Sunday night, which I think this should be moved to Monday, but they're not going to, is the Kansas City Chiefs against the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, is this a revenge game because of last year when he made that his first career start against Kansas City and lost, or does Pat Mahomes come out with the dub? I don't think the Swifties will be there because it is in Green Bay. It's probably cold.
So you saying Monday night? This should have been flexed to 4:00. Should have been no Sunday night game or Monday night game. Might want to see this.
Who do you want as the Sunday night?
Yeah, they could have did 49ers Eagles. That could have been Sunday.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So they could have put them right back in the 4:00 slate. But no, Kansas City should smoke them. It shouldn't be close. Once again, it depends on what J Love would get. He was really good Thanksgiving. He was really good. And if they get that guy, then they may win Sunday night. But I just think that I remember people were getting real crazy and comparing Jordan Love to Mahomes.
Excuse me. Wow, that's a let's say things we don't mean. That's two today.
Sure, but I mean that's what it was. That's some people got stupid and said that. And once again, from a throwing standpoint, you can see it, but everything else, no. He's not as mobile, I feel like, as Mahomes. Obviously, he's not the decision maker than Mahomes is. So there's a lot of intangible, that obviously 15 possesses that most QBs in this modern era don't have. So, but nevertheless, like I said, it may turn into a good game, but Kansas City should be victorious going away with this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Casey as well. So now Monday night, we have T-Laws, Jacksonville Jaguars against, not the Tiger King, but Jake Browning, Washington favorite, who's getting pass blocked by his favorite offensive lineman, Jonah Williams. Who do you got in this travesty of a Monday night?
That's a 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you're picking Bengals. Nice.
No, I'm going with the other cat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's definitely a 1, 2, 3.
I'm going with Sunshine. Where's it at though? Is it at Paul Brown or is it at Alto?
No, it's in Jacksonville. Yeah, it's in
I actually, once again, I'm showing my age. I don't know if it's called Alto anymore.
I don't think it is either. That's why I got confused. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, I'm like, it's called Alto Stadium. That's what I remember. Mm-hmm. It's always gonna be Alto to me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh they at the crib? It's Duval. Oh yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Jacksonville should win by 20 easily. Easily.
We'll have to see. Mm-hmm. So transitioning real quick to the so the in-season tournament is, obviously we know it's been going on. Mm-hmm. Since you've been gone, Shay has put his vote of confidence in the in-season tournament. He does like it. He was there for the Hawks-Pacers game where Tyrese Halliburton went off.
He showed up for a good one, man.
He definitely showed up for something. I wasn't really a big fan of the high scoring like that because there's no defense, but nonetheless, what are your thoughts on it?
You get the defense. That's a you don't see great performances like that every day. That man had 37 to 16. That is phenomenal.
I mean, the last time I saw something like that was James Harden when he went against the Wizards when they went like 2 overtimes. That was the Russell Westbrook year.
Okay.
But what are your thoughts on the in-season tournament? Because we haven't heard you say anything about it.
So it grew on me. I just wanted to see how it was going to look. Obviously, when anything is in its iteration, it's always going to look rough because whatever things you think you have worked out, usually aren't, and then you have to go back to the drawing board. Just like, for instance, a lot of Jaylen Brown and Jrue Holiday last night, they felt uncomfortable running up the score, but they had to because of what the rules were implying for the in-season thing. So maybe they go back to the drawing board, for that. So To me, I'm all for stop me. Then stop me. If you think I'm running up the score, find a way to stop me. They couldn't. That's just how I see it. But I get it. You're tough from a young age. Respect your opponent. Don't run up the score. Don't do this. Don't do that. So I get it. But I think the courts have been pretty cool. Some, not all, but some of the uniforms have been pretty dope. Like I love the Kings uniform. I think their uniform was dope. Detroit had a nice one. Celtics is okay, but I'm like, I wish it was either green or not white, but it is what it is. But yeah, so the course has been great. The play has been great. My only thing is just making sure that they fine tune the rules going into next season.
Yeah, I'm a little iffy on this still. I mean, I wasn't really sure how it was going to play out because they kind of just threw it all in there. It hasn't been too bad.
Right.
The courts are kind of for me. I'm not really a big fan of the courts, depending on who it is. Like I don't really like Houston's in IST court. That's just me. I just feel like the courts are a little bit too much. I think you could just left it regular.
I feel like they should have Test City for Houston though.
Yeah.
They should have put painted Clutch City on there and then put 34, 30, 11, 25. Like put the numbers of the team that won the championship. 50, Sam Cassell 10. That'd have been dope. That'd have been dope, in my opinion. Yeah. So
the brackets are set. And we got the Lakers as the 1 seed against Phoenix. They're the 4 seed. And then we have the Sacramento Kings. There's the 2 seed, and the New Orleans Pelicans are the 3 seeds. So who do you have going to the semis?
So I think Lakers and Kings. Lakers and Kings are gonna win.
I really wish the Suns were better. I really want to see that trio of Bradley Beal. Yeah, I know. Bradley Beal, Booker, and KD. I feel like they could have a really good season this year, but they never stay healthy.
Yep. But people want to get on KD. I'm like, he out there.
He is.
It's Booker and Beal that have been, on the sideline, kind of chilling low key. So, it is what it is. But that's the only reason why I got LA. LA seems to be taking this really seriously right now. So I think LA versus Sacramento would be the winners of the 2 games.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely have the Kings in this one just because De'Aaron Fox is back. That's a definitely key cog, and that Sacramento team is definitely. I mean, I like Keegan Murray, but sometimes he doesn't take those 3-pointers, those shots that he needs to take. He gets a little hesitant. Which is why Mike Brown's on him so much, which great episode, by the way, with Mike Brown on All the Smoke.
Yeah.
Like that one a lot. That was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, that story you told about in Detroit, that shit was hilarious.
I'll get into Detroit real quick about something, too, and it's interesting. But unfortunately, yes, I do have the Lakers in this one. I wish, again, the trio was healthy. I think they would have smoked them. That's just me. So moving on to the Eastern Conference, we have the number 1 seed Bucks against the 4 seed Knickerbockers, and then obviously, I'm surprised your Boston Celtics are the 3 seed against the Indiana Pacers, who are a 2 seed.
So it's because of how when they lost to Orlando, I think that's what.
Yeah, that's kind of what did it.
But I mean, this is gonna be Celtics Bucks. Let's think as we're gonna get a nice little preview of how it's gonna look later on in May. Celtics Bucks. I think that's the matchup there. I think the Knicks and Bucks will be a good game. I even think Celtics Pacers is gonna be a really good game. Even though last time we seen Indiana, we beat them by 50 points. It won't be like that this time because Halliburton probably gonna be playing. So hopefully Porzingis is back by that time as well. I don't think he's as hurt as what they've been saying. I think that they're doing what they've done with other players in the past, that they're going to be extremely cautious with him, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. You don't need him for every game in a regular season, and he has been everything as advertised, if not more. But looking forward to seeing Celtics Bucks, and if that's what happens, and then hopefully for the final, we see Celtics Lakers.
Now, if I got the Kings going to the finals,
okay,
and in the Eastern Conference, I'm I will throw my co-host on Feeling Blue and Blue Shirts banner, Chris. I will throw him the bone. I will go upset Knickerbockers over the Bucks on this one.
Okay,
I'm
nice.
obviously going to pick the Celtics, so it's going to be a nice little rivalry going on there in the semis. But ultimately, I'm going to go. I'm going to go upset again because I've seen it before with the Giants in the 2007 season when we lost to Dallas twice in the regular season, but when it came into the playoffs, they beat them. So I'm going to go with the Knickerbockers on this one. It's going to be a very close game, though.
Okay.
I'm going to edge them out. So it'll be Kings, Knicks, and ultimately the Kings will win the championship.
I mean, the Kings have
They're a very good team.
Yeah, they have the best offense in the NBA. DeMontis Sabonis is a problem. I say you alluded to Keegan Murray already. Fox being back does wonders for that offense, and that team as a whole. Yeah, so I would not be shocked at that. I'd even like to see Milwaukee against Sacramento. I think that'd be really fun too.
I think that'd be a good one too. Yeah,
that'd be pretty fun. So we'll see. And like I said, we'll see how it unfolds. But yeah, so whether it's Kings, Bucks, Lakers, Bucks, Lakers, Celtics, Celtics, Kings, whatever, like it'd be a pretty good, pretty good matchup there. So either way, it should be a good one.
So we're almost at the Christmas break, and I feel like I know who you're gonna pick for MVP, but I want to hear it from you. Who is your MVP so far in this season?
So the only reason why I won't pick Tatum yet is because it's what's around him right now, and I know when you have that type of talent around you, they don't give you that award. I think Embiid has still been really, really good. But I guess maybe as an MVP, I'd actually go. This is a real dark horse pick, but I'd go with Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards has been phenomenal. And once again, they're 13-4 so far. I don't know if they play tonight or not, but they're 13-4 as we record this on a Wednesday evening. But yeah, he's been everything as advertised and more. He is the definition of being around better talent. Raises your level of play, and for him to play in the Olympics and get that experience and learn from other great coaches, other great players. He's taken those lessons and he's implemented it in, it's his current team. Gobert and Cat have learned to coexist with one another as a front court. So, but yeah, I'm rocking with Anthony Edwards as my pick for that. Tatum to me is right behind him, in my opinion. I think maybe Tatum usurps him at the end of the year, but right now, as we reach the quarter mark, I'd go with Anthony Edwards.
I always knew you would pick Michael Jordan's son. As Ernesto puts, always when it's Anthony Edwards, it's Anthony Jeffrey Edwards.
Yeah.
Shay thought that was his real middle name because I was saying it on one of I believe it was
yeah.
So he really thought that was him, but no. So far for me, it's gonna be. I think it's got to be Luka Doncic.
Okay.
I feel like he's just been dominating from the start, and now I think him and Kyrie kind of have a good repertoire together. And I mean, Anthony Edwards is definitely a close second for me. I definitely like Anthony Edwards' game, but so far, I believe in this month he's averaging 29, 8 and 8. Luka Doncic, so he's just been having some nasty games. I think the last one he had was a 40 piece against my Houston Rockets, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm going to go with Luka for right now.
Back and forth to him and Dylan Brooks had loved that.
Yeah,
that was awesome. So
yeah. I mean, I actually thought you were going to pick Jason Tatum as your number one, but I was a little shocked.
But once again, we are unbiased on this show, sir. And just once again, I'm always going to love the Celtics more than anybody else. But just if I'm speaking objectively, yeah, Anthony Edwards has been the guy. Once again, Tatum has been great, but like I said, I know usually when it's like, they have JB and they got Drew and Porzingis is playing great, like. And he's only playing maybe 31, 32 minutes like a night. So once again, I'm fine with it because I care about the players. Like the MVP, I want him to get as the Finals MVP because that means that we're world champions. So that's what I'm looking for.
So before we close out, I definitely want to know which teams you think are Surprising you and not, but I was the Detroit Pistons. I saw this video the other day, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. So, Arm Tellem is the vice chairman for the Detroit Pistons. Okay, so apparently, yep, he hired his son as the director of player personnel. Eric Tellem, right? And let's see if I'm correct on this. He was a manager of the G League operations from August 2015 to 16 and a marketing coordinator for the Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment Partnership. Okay, so I'm not sure why you would hire your son to be anywhere in the Pistons organization running the director of player personnel who has no experience doing it at all. So no player development skills.
Nepotism. Duh.
Exactly. Yeah. Now another one, Troy Weaver. Also, he hired his son as a strategy analyst for the Detroit Pistons. Okay. And his son, guess what? He has never done anything like that. His jobs have been, let's see, because it's I'm looking at it right now. I believe it's like working at like a camp or something. Like he has nothing he has done. There's nothing that he has done to be a strategy analyst. Why do the Detroit Pistons not care anymore? This used to be a team, a city, a culture where they actually gave a shit.
I don't know.
And now this nepotism is running through this team. Monty Williams, I get it. It's his first year. He's just trying to figure everything out. They should have traded Bogdanovich for those two first round draft picks at one point. I don't remember what team wanted them. They should have done that. It's just embarrassing. And yes, here it is. I found it for Troy Weaver Jr. He had a job from January 2021 to June 2021 as a youth and countrywide sports division program / instructor aide, as well as in June 20 to October 2020, he was a youth and countrywide sports division intern. So yes, he should have that job over you, me, Shay, everyone else who actually knows sports, and that is why the Detroit Pistons are the lowest seed in the NBA, not just in the East, but in the NBA. Right. So with all that processing, any teams, they're actually 2-16, by the way. So nepotism really works. Right. So real quick, any teams that are surprising you and or exceeding your expectations before we round it out?
Yeah, I mean Minnesota and New York, right? Minnesota being 13-4, New York right now is 10-7. You know, I didn't think both teams would be off to those great of a start. Even someone like Charlotte too, right? Charlotte being 5-12, obviously they just lost LaMelo Ball for a extended time, which I just feel like it just seems to be a theme with him and really that family, unfortunately. So hopefully he's able to get back on the court sooner or later. But yeah, those are a few teams that come to mind. A lot of great plays so far, but those are a few that come to mind.
I'm surprised you didn't say this one team that beat you, the Orlando Magic, 8-game winning streak.
You can say it too.
Second in the conference, 13-5.
They're killing it.
Turnaround.
Yeah, they're killing it.
Turnaround.
Yep, they're on
fire. Paulo's is just pretty much what do you call it? Leaving what he started his rookie years, averaging I think 20 and 6. Sorry, not 26, 20 and 6. Franz Wagner. Amazing. Cole Anthony, finally. This guy was riding the pine for a while. I think he's averaging
I don't know why, but
I don't know why. It was too many guards. They had way too many guards at that point. They had the RJ Hampton, him, Jalen Suggs. They're trying to make the point at one point. I love Jalen Suggs, though. He's acting like every game is the Final Four.
Yes,
so that's great, too. But, yeah, they have a very good team, and I'm just glad Orlando's actually doing something other than when last time they was when Dwight Howard was there. Right, so that's my team, and then
they you know what's funny? They were one of the few teams in the playoffs that beat that Toronto team that won the championship.
Yes,
when they came to Toronto, won game one, and everyone was like, "Yo, what's going on?"
Yeah, they freaked out.
Yeah, so
and my other one, which I'm not surprised. It's the Chicago Bulls, last in offense, last in defense. 5-14. Billy Donovan, you can go back to Florida Gulf Coast or wherever you want to go. I mean, the NBA is not for you, buddy. When you don't have Kevin Durant, Russ, actually good players. Well, I guess they have good players, but he's not using them well. It's just
no. But think about it. What was he the coach in OKC when they in the bubble when they went to the
Yes,
playoffs?
I believe
So
so. Right? Yes.
okay, so that might have been his best job. So I know he could coach. I just think you got players that are meshing well together. And once again, he is a Kevin Durant choke job away from being an NBA champion, in my
But
opinion.
then again, wasn't that more of can't even think of his name right now.
He's a
Scott
Kevin
Brooks.
Durant choke job from being once again we're going at the best player. Kevin is the best player. He's a Kevin Durant choke job away from being in the NBA Finals. Because I think that, and Andre Iguodala said it too, because he knew. He said that they were better than us. Yes, we know. We know.
We saw it live. We
We're
were
alive,
there.
so we know. So yeah, I'm. Oh no, he's a Kevin Durant choke job away from being a champion potentially. So nope. Billy Donovan to me can't coach. Once again, we seen him win back-to-back national championships in college. Um, you know, he can coach. I just think to me, he's not the best coach out there, but he's someone that can get you to the playoffs and with the right amount of talent, do a little damage. But yeah, Levine probably gonna get dealt. If I'm DeRozan, I actually go somewhere too. I think he's in the final year of his deal too. I'd actually go somewhere. And then get rid of offload Caruso too. So, but I'm surprised you didn't talk about your Rockets, man. They're not surprised of the season so far for you. At least one of them.
Yes, I just didn't want to go too biased. I know
No,
that's
that's
talking about
that's
my team.
that's that's not
No,
about
well, we are first in defense. Major. I think we were like 29th last year. So, first is very amazing. Love it. I was just watching a little bit of it. Playoff P had on his podcast actually has Alpern on. I think it's how he said it was Sangoon. I think that's how you say his name, not Shangoon.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched it fully, but so far it's been a really good episode. You guys should check that out. You too, Hollywood Ray. But yeah, I mean, Fred VanVleet's out tonight, so we're getting smoked by the Nuggets right now. Jamal Murray came back, so I mean, but other than that, we're on a little skid. It's gonna happen with the team that we have.
Right.
Love that he's holding players accountable, which we already knew was going to happen. Talking about Jalen Green, who did not play in the fourth quarter a few games ago. And then the next game, he had like a 38 piece. So, I mean, it's just great that it's an actual team. Even Jabari Smith has said it, that it's not just an AU team running around. They have discipline. They have structure. They're winning and Jabari Smith, honestly, is having the best year so far under Ime Udoka. I've said it with Shea. He can do whatever he wants in the organization. Ime Udoka, as long as, you keep on the down low and we win some games. But, yeah, I mean, Jabari Smith, he's averaging, I'm looking at right here, basically 13, 8, and almost one block. So a major upgrade right there. People were a little nervous down in Houston how he was going to react. I mean, Fred VanVleet, very good facilitator, very good. Just not like an elite point guard, but just a good like game manager. He's getting it done. I wish we can somehow unload Jock Landale's contract. I didn't like that signing from the beginning, and he just hasn't done anything. Right. We have guys like old man Jeff Green out there more than him, so he needs to go. Cam Whitmore, God damn it, let him play. Let him play. He's beasting it in the G League. He's averaging at least 24. And let's not forget, Amen Thompson has not played yet. He is still hurt. Yeah. And I love that he said, hey, he will go into the G League and just do his reps, do what he needs to do before he comes back onto the roster. I love that.
Yeah,
not bad. And Dylan Brooks has kind of been the MVP so far for us, not in the league, just for us.
For sure. But I was gonna say, but with Amen Thompson, his brother's killing it right now.
Oh, absolutely.
I know they haven't played well. I mean, as a team, but yeah, Ansar is really good. Like he might be first team all defense as a rookie, which is crazy.
I can see that.
So we'll see what happens. But another surprise too before we get out of here. I did not think the Spurs record would be this bad. After getting Wemby, I thought they'd maybe be hover around 500. But it's hard, right? Because it's a transition, right? Everybody's gunning to make sure that they don't, become a victim of him. We thought we were gonna see a little different when he got 38 on on Phoenix a couple of weeks ago. We was like, "Ooh, okay, like if he doing shit like this is crazy." But he's kind of come back to earth since then. So hopefully,
it looks like they don't have any point guards giving him the ball, and when they do give it to him, it's too late.
Yep.
That's kind of what I've been seeing. So I don't know why they're not feeding your best player.
Some got to give, but not my team, not my problem.
Yeah, exactly. I've already been through that for 3 years. I'm good now. But before we go, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the follow button. And That's My Sports on YouTube. We have 62 going on X. So I just would love to get more on the YouTube. Obviously we answer all questions on the live streams, this and that. So Hollywood Ray, take us out on your final words.
Yeah. So just once again, thanks for listening. As always, whenever you get this far on the show, that means you've been on for a long time. So for that, we say thank you. But yeah, continue to support. More great things on the way. Once again, this page has grown. The X page has grown. So just keep spreading the word and can keep showing your continued support, because without y'all, this is not possible. So and as always, Black Lives Matter, not just when it's convenient for you.
Yes, absolutely. So actually right now, about 3 minutes, I'm heading over to the Feeling Blue pod. Check us out. If there's any Giants fans out here that was watching this program, me and CPNY Sports are going to kill it with Hit Squad Productions today and Rodney. And I'm trying to think if there's anything that we missed. Oh, me and Shay will be doing the Shay and Aaron show Sunday at 11 for some soccer, football, however you want to say it. Should be a good one. I'm going to try to do some slides for that one going forward, as well for this show, as well as the soccer show. Wanting to get into the Survivor Series, it's not enough time, but we will get more wrestling content as we've had a lot of wrestling accounts follow us on X, so can't wait to do more of that. And as always, Black people matter. And I'm your host of the most, Aaron Cass. Here's Hollywood Ray joining us from Hollywood, Florida. Just kidding. He lives in Massachusetts now. Peace.
Tie this game at 60.